Hey guys, I thought it would be kind of fun to share a video of me putting some HTV, heat transfer vinyl, onto just an old t-shirt I had around. I recently bought a set of graphics, SVGs, sizable vector graphics, and I printed one out with my Cricut. And I was just going to show you, really there's not a whole lot to putting an iron-on onto your shirt. So you just need a couple things. I needed scissors at first because I cut this out of the larger sheet, so it would be easier to work with. You need a weeding tool. It's a Cricut weeding tool. You need some heat transfer tape. For smaller items, you really probably don't need this. I haven't used it, but this is pretty big and I don't want it to shift around. And the bigger thing is I'm using my mini press, which is heated up. And with a large Cricut press, you would just be putting it down in one big press. Or if it was the smaller, it would still be covering probably this whole thing. So with the mini press, I'm going to heat half at once and then the other half. So to start with, you want to make sure that your shirt is ironed. I pre-did that. Then you want to come in and make sure you get all the lint off of it, which is important. So I already did that because if you can picture the iron-on material, if there's fuzz or lint or hair or anything, it will be having to adhere to that. So make sure it's as clean a surface as you can get on a cotton shirt. And then the other helpful thing, which I did not know at first, is that if you go to cricut.com/heat guide, or just look up Cricut heat guide, it is so helpful. It gives you an entire rundown of which machine you're using. So you can put in, I was using the mini press. Then it asks what type of heat vinyl are you using, and I chose just basic smart vinyl. It asks what material you're using. I chose 100% cotton, and then it just gives you the entire directions. It tells you what temperature you need your press. It tells you how many seconds to use it, and all the directions. So basically you start with, the first thing you want to do is you want to warm up for 5 seconds. It says to warm up your shirt. So I guess actually I should weed first. So let's weed first, which I have to take my glasses off to weed. Guys, I gotta do that. I'll move this over so I don't poke the shirt. This is gonna be really easy to weed because it is so big. It's a very big graphic. If you haven't weeded before, I never really knew what weeding was. It's a little different on the iron-on than on the vinyl, but I love it. I find it to be so fun. If you get to little parts where it's kind of stuck, you can get your weeding tool in there. And then also, this has tackiness to it to help it stay where you want it. And then just the eyeball here needs to be popped out. There we go. And I don't think there's anything else. All right, so back to where we were, which was heating this up for 5 seconds. That's what the directions said. And if you had the big press, you would be pressing the whole big press down for 5 seconds, or whatever the directions are, and then repressing the whole thing. So try to make sure your shirt is even. I'm going to straighten it out for myself here. And the fun thing is, unlike the vinyl, which if you stick it down, you may have experienced this, if you stick it on wood or plastic, it is stuck. It stays. And if you get it in the wrong spot, well, too bad, you're going to have to redo it. But with the iron-on, you can move it, and wherever you want to put it, it won't stick until you iron it on. So I'm working with a pocket here, which was a little frustrating. I originally was picturing full shirt images, and then I realized, oh, pocket. But I think I'm going to try to go kind of, I might trim this little tail up a bit because I want to get as close to the pocket as possible. I get a visual of what it's going to look like. And then I'm going to take some of this tape. I'm actually excited to try this because I haven't used the tape. I've been precariously holding things, and so far everything has worked. But you know, there's nothing like a little extra security. I guess it says to not put it over the image. I'm not exactly sure why that would matter since it's from the other side. Sorry if my head is getting in the picture there. And I have heard people say you can reuse this tape a little bit. It was a little expensive, but you know, I figure it seems pretty helpful. And I plan on doing quite a bit of ironing on for gifts and even for business. All right, I feel like it's not going to move around a lot. Am I wrong? Am I wrong here? Okay, well we're gonna hope for the best and see how it goes. Feels pretty secure. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna try to start maybe in the top half here and work on there, and then move over to this section with a little bit of overlap. So it's telling me medium for 25 seconds. So here goes. I'm a little worried about the tape, but okay. With firm pressure, it said. So I am putting some firm pressure into it. You know, I might even just do the head first here for the first 25 seconds. It's kind of a large image, I guess. Larger than it seemed. Of course, be careful with your fingers, because, ouch. Nothing like damaging. Now, the bigger presses do have timers, so I'm just kind of trying to do it in my brain. I don't know how great that's going, but excuse my chair noises. Lots of noises in my house. I have a cockatiel. I guess he's probably making noises I wasn't noticing. I have a fireplace that crackles. That's why I have burns all over my hands. I have a dog that clickety clacks. I have cats destroying my house most of the time. So those are the sounds in my house. I cannot find a silent location. And giant logging trucks that whip past 24/7. So those are the weird noises. All right, are we getting to the 25 mark? You can almost see when it lifts up. It's like I'm seeing it does not look like it's lifting here. My arm's tired out on that side. Almost feel like it's looking pretty good. And then what it tells you to do is to flip it and do it for 15 seconds on the other side, which is a little confusing when you can't necessarily see it and you've done it in multiple sets. But so far what I've been doing is just kind of winging it, and everything's been turning out pretty good. Oh, piece of hair. So far everything has been turning out, which is awesome. The only mess ups I had in the beginning were really due to me using an iron and not the press. Since I got my mini press, all of my projects have turned out. With my iron, they were not turning out. Okay, now it says to wait until it's cool, so this might take just a minute. Okay, I removed my heat mat. It was really retaining the heat, and feels pretty cool. So let's see how it went. So peel back slowly. Looks like it did really nice. Okay. Well, it's looking great. How exciting. Awesome. Awesome. It looks really cute. And I love the feeling of the vinyl. It just has kind of a really pliable. If you haven't felt the Cricut vinyl on something yet, you might be pleasantly surprised. Well, there you go, guys. Hope you found this helpful. Or would encourage you to realize you can do some of the bigger projects with the Cricut mini press, because it's pretty darn expensive, those bigger presses. But okay, great. Well, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for checking it out. Bye.